All right, welcome back everybody. Brent Warner here with Q Live, and we are here with David Platt.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
David, congratulations, gold disc winner.
Yes, that was huge. Getting that email, I was honored, and then read at the bottom and said, "Don't tell anybody yet till a certain date." I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell my wife. Okay, I got to.
Did you tell her?
I did, of course.
Oh, well,
I can't.
Can we make a complaint and withdraw this at this point, or no? Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, awesome, super awesome. The gold disc winners. Lots of history with Q, lots of working through everything. Tell us a little bit about your journey through all of this.
Oh gosh, okay, so I'll probably say it started maybe 2013, okay, and it started 2013, and they're through Jason Seliskar.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason Seliskar invested a lot of time in me to that, and then understanding that, hey, there's a bigger world outside your school that has computer that are a bunch of lone nuts, really. Mm-hmm. Okay, and Bill Selleck was actually at the same district, so it was all three of us at the same district, and they got me in touch with Q. And the first time I went to Q, I'm like, okay, mind blown. This huge conference. There's all these people. There's all these people who think like me. I'm not alone.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
I'm not alone with what I think and how I feel about education and working with students and what education should be.
Great.
And then Jason asked me to be a part of San Gabriel Valley Q, and I spent years with the organization, and I became vice president, and then when Jason left the organization and went to Mother Q, I became president, and I stayed in president for quite a few years. So I've had some history with Q. I've done a lot of Rockstar camps. I've done Bold. I've done the blended online learning design weekends, and I've spoken at Fall Q, Spring Q. So I've had a lot of time investing in Q and also in San Gabriel Valley Q. And I think I have to say, it's really at the local affiliate level where the impact really is important.
Yeah.
Because that's bringing in the community and saying, hey guys, we want to teach you about, yes, exactly. And we partnered with OCQ quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's where it's really important, is getting your local community involved. Even if they don't make it to the national conference or the fall conference, you're getting them involved with what education can be, right?
Yeah.
And being able to help people tap into technology that goes beyond just digital worksheets. You can start changing thinking, and then starting increasing student engagement, and change your classroom, change your site, change your district for the better.
So we were in the green room earlier, right here, and we were talking about the transition. So when you first go to Q, and for a lot of people, I think a lot of people this year are total first timers, right? Like, hey, I've never done this before, and it might be overwhelming, right? Like, you're just trying to suck it in, right? You're trying to take it, trying to absorb, right? And so then you've gone through this whole transition of being like observer, moving into presenter, moving into award recipient, right? So talk about that transition and how that works for you.
Okay, so it came to mind, kind of like relate this almost to Dr. Sunny Magana's T3 framework. So when you're thinking about that, what that does for teachers or what that does for students, you have like T1, you have T2, you have T3. T1, you have like automation and consumption. So related to a conference, and when you're going to Q and you're doing it maybe first couple years, whatever, you're really at this consumption level and you're just taking it all in. Consume, but you're not giving back, right? So that's where then you start doing the production part, right? That T2 of the framework. You're producing, you're starting to give back, you're presenting, right? And then it turns also then into production, turns into contribution, where you're spending your time at the conference, not even just presenting, you're building relationships, you're fostering those connections with people, you're connecting other people to other people, and that's really what it's about. So I saw my journey even as part of San Gabriel Valley Q and bringing people in, and then coming here is connecting people,
right,
and making the work really matter. So I really felt very important about that contribution factor. And then you have that next level at T3, which is that transcendent part of
Right, okay.
of technology, and you're going to that next level, and that's still part of the transition for me. So
Sure.
it's contribution. Now I'm going and wanting to do that transcendent work.
Nice. Okay. So there's tons of different things. How are you going to, like, this weekend? How are you? What are you looking forward to? What are you doing for that? Either contributions or transcendence here.
Well, so that's interesting, right? You asked that. So for 18 years, I was in the classroom, and then right before COVID, so in 2019, fall of 2019, I transitioned to a TOSA position.
Nice.
And I went from the district I was at for 18 years, and then I went to a new district. So that's kind of a huge change for a teacher. You're going 18 years, you're solidified,
Right.
You're going to a new place. Yeah, okay, so one, it was the principal that was there, and that was a principal worth following.
Okay.
I have to say that's huge when you have a leader and you're like, okay, I'm willing to change and go, I want to work with you. So I did that, and that was huge, because then going into just a few months later, we had March 13th and just everything. And that, my wheelhouse is technology and working with teachers. I was a technology TOSA.
Right.
So my support really just poured out into the teachers. I'm like, okay, you guys are used to doing things just one way. Now doing just e-learning, you can't do it that way and expect students to just be engaged. We need to change the way that we teach.
Right.
To get students to be engaged.
Yes.
And that, we all know about the black screens. We know that it was hard to get students to be engaged. So doing regular didactic pedagogy is just not going to do it.
Right.
We have to change it. And then just this last July, I became an assistant principal.
Oh, yes,
so
congratulations.
I've had that just a huge journey change in just a few years. And what I can say about that is that's still at my heart goes to what I'm about, which is very relational.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm all about building relationships. So what do I do now? I build relationships not just in my classroom. I have this whole campus I'm building relationships with, this whole group of faculty and staff that I'm building relationships with. So those connections are very important. What have I also done in part of that, and some people have told me I'm a little insane doing it all at once, is I started a doctoral program.
Yeah.
And that...
You're in that right now?
Yes, I'm in it right now. I'm loving it. But
Okay.
Even my soup said, you're going to be a first-year AP and do a doctoral program? Yes, totally going to do it, and I went in and did it. So what I am finding is that really it's the impact, I think, is what I'm trying to do, is expand that impact with what I'm doing, and building those relationships with people and helping people understand what they can do with education.
Yeah.
With my as an AP, what am I doing with students? I'm trying to teach them why education matters. Okay, why, and especially now, why relationships matter.
Yeah.
Well, how can we be good humans to each other? All right, we and our kids are really struggling with that. We know that.
Yeah.
And so that's really what's been happening with me for the past few years.
I mean that's amazing, and I want to commend you. And you know, like a lot of teachers get like, oh, you're moving into admin, right? There's like a little bit of like, is it going to the dark side? But then when they know that teacher has been working with them and has been supporting them and has been like a person who is going through those same things, I think we can really make an effort there to show like, hey, we're a team together, right?
Yep. And I think that's been helpful for a lot of the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, is that they learned really quickly, oh, you've been teaching for that long. Mm-hmm. Oh, you get it.
Right.
Okay, so you understand our perspective when I'm talking to them and trying to work with different strategies with them, or if things that they're going on with, that are happening with them in the classroom. I understand. When it comes to testing, and I have to help them with testing and testing schedules, they get it that I understand what their needs are in trying to make that all work.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it's helped with that relationship. And of course, in any type of relationship, like the foundation really is trust, right? And trustworthiness. And if you can't have a relationship built on trust, you really can't push that forward, because then that ends up being more of a dictatorial role, and you can't get people, and you're not going to get buy-in and not get people to really see and maybe change some parts, or change good, all right, and to be able to embrace that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we're certainly going to wish you the best of luck for that. I mean, I'm sure it's going well, and doctoral program. I mean,
you know what? It's been
you
a
are
journey,
insane.
Yeah. I love it though. I do have to say, I writing is important.
Yeah.
Gosh, and I've actually enjoyed writing again. So
Cool. Well, congratulations on that Gold Disc winner.
Thank you.
You know, and we'll see you getting that award in just a moment. So
yeah, it's coming right up. Oh my gosh.
David Platt, thanks everybody. Oh, where can people find you?
Where people find me? Okay, so Twitter's by far the easiest. Okay, it's at Herr Platt. I've always held to my German teacher roots, so at HERRPLATT on Twitter is the easiest way to find me. Instagram, you can do that. Okay, David E. Platt, and of course Facebook, DE Platt.
Thank you.